Hi, today is the first proper event day of the VAA Waka'ama Sprint World Championships in England, and it's been a pretty taxing day emotionally for me, and it wasn't something I expected at all, actually, until I got up this morning, and this is just the way trauma works, unfortunately. So the day today, the schedule was that we were going down for the canoe blessing, and then our water session was first. After that, we only get 3 1-hour slots, remember? And then we were being shuttled backwards and forwards from there since, because the whole team had classifications today, which is where they officially test you and decide what disability category you go in. Now, it wasn't, I'd not really give that much thought because I didn't really know what it entailed, to be fair. And I got up this morning and was feeling really quite emotional. And I realised it was because I was having to face somebody who was going to put ticks in boxes and judge how disabled I was. And I've spent the last 22 months trying to prove that I can still be the same person that I was and trying my best to not be disabled. And then today I'm facing the fact that somebody's going to actually classify me and determine me at a disability number. Equally, I have never been through a classification in any sport because I've always backed out before I've got to that point. I have got a provisional classification in cycling and also in triathlon, and I've chosen not to race in either of those because I don't agree with the classification they've given me, and there's no point in me even going ahead with a race to get properly classified, I don't believe, because I've got a disadvantage right from the start. And it really hurts, to be honest, because I don't like to see myself as disabled. I try to be as positive as possible, but when you're faced with in the brutal reality of the fact that you can't do something because somebody's put you in a box, and it's something that's out of your control, then it makes it really quite confronting. And it just brings back all of the horrors that got me here in the first place. So I found the whole thing really, really, really tough. The 2 classifiers were really cool about it all. One of our managers went in with me and she explained the situation beforehand. They understood that I was really relatively new to disability, and there was a classifier and a physio, and they explained what the process was going to be and what they were looking for, which was really nice. And then they were looking for the strength in both legs, at the knee, the hip and the ankle, and they compared both without the prosthetic on. They wanted to know whether I had trunk and core control, so I was sitting on the edge of a table and they were pushing me in different directions, and I had to make sure that I didn't get pushing and pulling, so to see whether I was able to balance myself. And the manager that came in with me stood behind me just in case I went over. And then they talked about water assessment. Now this is where it all sort of came apart, because they were just assuming they'd do everybody's water assessment in a single. Now I've never actually sat in a single ever. So it was good that my manager was with me at that point, because the whole thing sounded horrifying, and she explained that really wouldn't probably give them a correct view, because I'd be too worried about being frigid and not being tipped out of the single, rather they wouldn't really see any proper technique. So the classification session was stopped there, and they are going to possibly come and have a look at me out on 6 tomorrow. So I don't know what number that they've given me just yet. We'll have to find out later. And apparently there's another of our brand new paras that was in the same position. So yeah, I'm glad it's over, to be honest, because it's been stressing me out all day. And I've got to go through it again tomorrow in a little section, just so that they can finish it off, and then I'll get a number, and then hopefully that'll be the end of that. But my manager's been talking to me, and she believes I've got a really strong future in this sport, and was proud of the fact that I actually went through with the classification because I've backed out of 2 others. And yeah, So I will go ahead and I'll race as a disabled athlete for the first time in my life, which is also quite confronting as well. But yeah, that's what I'm here for. And that's what trauma does for you, especially PTSD. It comes along and hits you like this right when you're not expecting it. So I'm going to have a really quiet, gentle evening on my own and pull myself back together, and then we'll get on with tomorrow. We've got a couple more water sessions, and I'm probably going to have the classifier have a look at me again in the water, and then the opening ceremony later on in the afternoon. So yeah, thanks for watching. I wanted to show the real side as well as the good side, because yeah, there's a lot of things you have to face head on when you are entering the disability sector as an athlete for the first time, and it's not easy.